Texas is a place like no other. It rewards for those that take risks. Going back to Texians fighting the oppressive Mexican government to today's values of independence and self-reliance that seem to be so much of the Texan persona.
We joke that we could be our own country because we have so many resources, right? If we were a country, we would be ranked 5th or 6th for oil production in the world.
Texans have always been a do-it-yourself culture. We're good, thank you very much. We don't need the rest of the nation for energy.
In 1935, Texas made a choice that proves fatal in 2021, running its own separate power grid.
There was a decision made then by Texan utilities because we don't want to be part of this federal oversight. We will take care of ourselves here.
There are 3 major grids in the United States. The eastern grid, which supplies power to the eastern half of the United States. The western interconnection grid, which supplies power to roughly the west. And then you have Texas. The eastern and western grids are much larger. So if there was high power demand in Oklahoma because of the winter and the cold freeze, they could just draw power from the northeast, which was not experiencing a cold snap at that moment.
But the Texas grid is isolated, and so we can't access power from other grids, and being totally isolated prevents us from having any kind of resiliency.
The problem for Texas is we had always planned for emergencies, assuming that anything that would go wrong is independent of all the other things that might go wrong. If you lose wind plants, you won't lose gas plants. And the way that the nuclear plants and the coal plants work aren't related to what could go wrong with solar.
But in February 2021, that assumption is proven very wrong. Texas has no way of generating extra power or getting it from outside the state.
So many of the power plants have been taken offline either because they've frozen up, their fuel supply froze up, the blades of the wind turbines froze up, or they can't get gas in because the gas system was freezing up, that there just wasn't enough power to keep the lights on in Texas.
I feel like the grid independence thing was really a shock to a lot of people. They did not realize that we were on our own in this state. The fact that, all it takes is the weather to drop like this, and suddenly everything can go wrong.